Today we'll be talking about Condensis.xyz. Condensis.xyz is a web application that offers AI-generated notes to students who struggle with note-taking, helping promote accessible education. Our multimodal model can synthesize notes from any lecture video. So the home page starts off with this choose this university. So for example, if you're interested in courses from Harvard, you could look at Harvard, or if you're interested in courses from MIT, you could look at MIT. And of course, being TreeHacks and at Stanford, let's look at Stanford's courses. So what we're offering is these three main things. We're currently working on a pipeline for CS224N and CS107, which is literally just taking the video and putting it into our algorithm. But for this demo, we really focus on CS106B, which is the quintessential course at Stanford and is often reflective of one of the most difficult courses that students take because it is their first introduction to recursion and complex data structures. So let's look a bit at how CS106B is structured with our algorithm. So CS106B is shown here to be taught by Keith Schwartz, and we're looking at winter 2023. So the way our AI model works is we give it a video with slides, and it's able to convert that into a set of notes. And the reason why this is so powerful is because it takes the structural and organizational components of the slides to create really, really effective notes. For example, we can see these notes that have been created in LaTeX. So in this example, we can see Lecture 1 getting started with C, and all of these notes have been generated using GPT-3's API. Similarly, we can see that it even is able to have really interesting use cases when talking about recursion, explaining things such as recursions are ways of breaking down problems into smaller and smaller subproblems, and giving examples that show exactly what Keith talked about in class. This is way more comprehensive than traditional summarization because it is able to take the main key points and also key examples and give some sort of analysis to it as well. Now, Lecture 3 is when the course gets really hard. During Lecture 3, we start to look at really big collections, complex data structures, and really dive into recursion. I'll give you a bit of an example. So if we look at Lecture 3, Containers Part 1, and we look at the lecture slides, we can see Keith has hundreds of slides, and this is over an hour-long lecture, or just under an hour-long lecture, and it's on a really complex topic of recursion. But our generative AI model does a really, really great job taking both audio and video input to really dynamically organize the very, very confusing slideshow and video presentation. As you can see here, it goes over recursion and it goes over memory allocation and even goes as far into the very specific C++ syntax. This organizational framework, which is directly made into LaTeX, offers students a really great way to access notes that could be made by another student who is attending the class. Now here for this demo, we've created all the way up to 9 lectures, and we have focused on recursion, which is often the hardest part for students to understand. So some other functionality with our app is we have this courses page where students can save courses that they are currently interested in taking. So for example, students who are interested in taking CS106B can have their saved course appear here. And similarly, we're hoping to work with the administration to offer programs where the Office of Accessible Education can buy our product and offer it to students who need note takers and cannot physically take notes. For example, thousands of college students struggle with taking notes in class due to various learning disabilities that make it difficult to process information quickly or write down information in real time. So we're hoping to work with OAE to work on the shortage of student note takers and allow greater and more accessible education. And that kind of brings us back to our overall theme and why we really created this product. Education policy and infrastructure tend to neglect students with accessibility issues. There is great inequity in learning, and with this generative multimodal AI model, we can help end the inequity in education and bring about a more thoughtful way to think about learning with a great way to take notes and for students to learn. Thank you, and we hope you see the great value of what we've created.